prediction. This is going to be my movie prediction for this very question, which is, what is Christopher Nolan's next film? I think I may have figured it out. I think the answer is, it's going to be a horror film. I had his next film broken into these categories. A history film, diving back into history is inevitable. Could it be ancient history? Could it be something prehistoric? Could you imagine what a Christopher Nolan dinosaur movie would look like? My God. Or it could be something modern day, maybe Christopher Nolan's equivalent to David Fincher's The Social Network, maybe. So diving back into history, or a science fiction film, some original script, which would be a great way to redo, to make up for the failure that was induced by COVID with Tenet. It still is my second favorite Christopher Nolan film of all time. And then, in third place, we have a horror film. So, for a history film, this was my number one prediction for the longest time ever. But for a history film, despite some of the ideas I was playing with, I decided that, you know what? Initially, my number one prediction is his next film is going to be JFK. In Tenet, Oppenheimer is mentioned by Priya, right? And then look what happens. Oppenheimer. And then in Memento, with the reversed narrative structure and sometimes literal photography, that led us to Tenet. Naturally, I was thinking, JFK gets a wild shout out in Oppenheimer, so maybe his next film is about John F. Kennedy, you know? I mean, especially because John F. Kennedy has got Christopher Nolan's name written all over it. I mean, the outer space travel, all the women, Marilyn Monroe, all the UFO conspiracy theories. We could do some kind of countdown to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. So it kind of weirdly had everything, you know. We could go around the world. We could go into space. It kind of had everything. But then I don't know, something about that just seemed off, or maybe that project's too big or too soon. I don't know. So there was that idea. Sci-fi. I was like, maybe another sci-fi. But then, out of nowhere, because I've also been predicting that his next film was going to arrive in 2027. No! Apparently, rumor has it from sources only, at the current time, as of this recording, sources are saying, no, Christopher Nolan's next film is arriving in 2026. No idea what it's about. It's coming in July, and Matt Damon is attached to star. Complete shot in the dark here. But if that's the case, well, I don't see Matt Damon leading a history film. I don't see Matt Damon leading a science fiction film. So I was like, oh man. But then I was like, well, hang on a second. Matt Damon, who stereotypically plays a good person. What if Matt Damon is leading a horror film? What if Matt Damon is playing some kind of dad of 3 children and some loving wife, and then boom, horror happens somehow, you know? I started thinking about that. I was like, oh my God, maybe there's something here, because there's always spooky horror-like elements to so much of Christopher Nolan's work. Especially in Inception, there's some real nightmarish moments, or in Insomnia. There's some moments with the Scarecrow in Batman Begins that feels... There's moments throughout the Nolan Batman trilogy that feel horror film-esque. Even the opening to Tenet, which, by the way, I think the opening to Tenet was inspired by this real life terrorist attack. Why has no one asked Nolan this question to confirm? Anyway, but yeah, the opening to Tenet, it opens to a literal terrorist attack. We're described Tenet as a spooky sci-fi film. So, and he's expressed interest in making a horror film.
And Carson wants to know, would you ever try and tackle a horror film? The genre would be so interesting in your style of directing.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I think, especially in Oppenheimer is full of moments that feel like a horror film. So in a way, I feel that a horror film in the near future is inevitable. So why not have that next? And I think it kind of makes sense. If I'm right, this bad boy, whatever it is, it's about to hit $1 billion, no problem. Okay, horror films always do great, but a horror film from Christopher Nolan shot in 70mm IMAX. I'm not sure if a horror film has made $1 billion before, but at the worldwide box office. But this might be a first timer, okay? And the thing that got me on the train, particularly about this horror film idea, is that I want to say back in March on Twitter, from the director of Doctor Strange and The Black Phone, Scott Derrickson, he led me here. But I think that Nolan's next film could be, maybe it's his version of The Shining. Maybe it's his version of a haunted house kind of story. Sort of like this. I think his next film could be something equivalent to this book right here, from which this is probably the creepiest book that I own. For example, there's a moment where characters, they move to a house in Virginia, I think, and the house behaves as if it's haunted. I mean, yeah, their house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And I believe there's even a moment where a character, he's recording and he's showing the outside, just outside the house, inside, and he's showing how this hallway that's inside should not exist when you look at the house from the exterior. It's so good. This book is insane. It's Christopher Nolan's next film may be something extraordinarily complex, as geometrically reality bending, as supernatural and brain scrambling as this book right here. And yeah, that's my guess as to what's happening in Christopher Nolan's next film. Something equivalent to that. Well, you'll have to come back from the future and let me know if I was correct.